Hello everyone, this is Ben and Kieron from VGBlaster, and today we are doing a deck profile on Kieron's Granblue 7 Seas deck. Let's have a look, shall we? So we'll start off with
Peter
the Ghosty. What does he do? Cardless 1, choose 2 cards from off your deck, mill them, put him into your soul, and then draw a card. Good for really setting up your drop zone, really, isn't he?
Yeah. I also find it works very well with Dancing Cutlass. It's the affectionately named the Kieron.
Yes. You don't actually run Dancing.
I don't have Dancing Cutlass in that deck yet. That's something I do actually have to look into.
Well, we should also point out that this is a first draft.
First draft, yeah.
Of the deck. So it's kind of like a template you can use and, you know, kind of put your own style in it. So for grade 3s, we run 4 of the Lord of the Seven Seas Nightmist, which is the Break Ride. Good card in general, Break Ride, plus negative Vanguard, call 2 units from your drop zone, they gain 5k and go away at the end of turn. Also good for name for the Stride, which we'll get into later. But yeah, he's just probably the key card of the deck, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because you can use him with your other grade 3s, which we run 2 of the new 7 Seas card from Fighter Collection. 7 Seas Sage, Plegiton?
Something.
Sure, let's go with that. So his skill is during the ride phase?
Yes, beginning of your ride phase, Counterblast 2, you can ride him from the drop as stand.
Yes.
And when he comes back, when he's on the Vanguard circle, he brings a unit back from the drop as well.
Just for that turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yes, he's good. So if you don't have a grade 3 in hand or you can't stride or whatever, you can just break around him from the drop zone up, and just get your shenanigans going. In the same vein, we also run 2 Night Snow. Night Snow's very similar effect, isn't he? But he's Cat Blast 2, Soul Blast 2, but you can ride him at any point.
At any point, yeah. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the main phase.
Yes, so you could, if you're on if you're still on a Plegitation or another one of him, you can ride into your Nightmist and then.
He also has the Limit Break effect, where it's Counterblast 1, I think it's pop a unit on the field and call 1 from the drop with plus 5k.
Yeah, so you can retire the same unit and click back out, can't you?
Yeah.
You tend to do that with Banshee a lot, as we see.
It makes an 11k booster.
Okay, for grade 2s, there is 4 copies of Commodore Blue Blood. 10k is actually very good in the game at the minute, because screw you, Ripple Rush. And as grade 2, when people play a grade 2 game in general, he's just good to have as a solid defence. He's also very good because Banshee's quite focused if you bring him back.
Yeah.
She's only 6k, so he's 16k, bring back the Break Ride, makes him 21. So that's why we run 4 of him, which makes that good. Next we run 4 Dragon Corrode Corrupt Dragon. God, these names are stupid.
I know.
His skill is when he's placed on Rigor from drop zone, he gains plus 3k until the end of turn. I believe he just helps make magic numbers for you, doesn't he?
Self-explanatory as to why you keep him in. You bring him back, he gains plus 3k, you bring him back with the Break Ride, you get 8k on top.
Yeah, so pretty good.
Pretty good.
Next we run 2 King Serpent, which is when he's placed on Rearguard from drop, use Soul Blast 1 and Countercharge 1, as we're now supposed to call it. Yeah, because you do...
Soul Charge 1.
Soul Charge 1 and then
This is why I put it in, because it works very well with the Sea Strolling Banshee, because like you said, I do focus on Sea Stroll. So if you bring that back, especially with the Stride, it's Counterblast 1 for obviously the Stride effect. Bring those 2 back, you get a 14k column, and he basically makes the entire thing free because he'll unflip the damage that you flip for the Stride, and he soul charges the card you soul blasted for the Banshee.
Yeah, and he is pretty, with the 8k is a bit of a thing making numbers, but he makes up in terms of your soul and your keeping your Counterblast open. And then 1 Deadly Spirit.
Just a little tech, in case, you know. Because I do also have 1 Samurai Spirit, and it's just one of those, if you're ever in a situation where you need to swap something out,
nice so he's there. So you could knock King Serpent up to 3, or you could... What's the other card? The Legion card that when it brought back, if it hits, you can retire something.
Oh, it's... Oh, he's got a stupid name as well.
Yeah, he's like Dragon.
Yeah.
But you could run him as well also. It's really up to you, like we said. Add your own personality stamp onto this deck. Next, 4 extremely rare cards at the minute. Granblue Perfect Guards, Gust Jin. Currently made out of gold until the Trident comes out. And you get common versions. But yeah, I mean, I don't really think we need to explain why you need full Perfect Guards, especially
why would you not have full Stride,
the Stride format. If you run Quintet Walls, you deck yourself out even quicker.
I have a bad
if you watched our game, yes, Kieron does deck out quite a lot. Mainly because of this card.
Yep.
Free Sea Strolling Banshee. Your grade 1s are quite diverse, so you don't really run 4 of anything, do you, apart from perfect guards, do you?
I find is the beauty of Granblue. You don't actually have to run 4 of anything. You can get away with 2s and 3s.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, it's retired. It's going to come back, and it's better when it comes back.
Basically, you want it in your drop zone, so all you have to do is, at some point, get hold of it and get rid of it.
Yeah, so if you don't know this card's effect, it's when it's placed on a rear guard from drop zone, Soul Blast 1, and draw a card. So that's very good. And obviously, like I said, with Blue Blood, they make magic number columns, so you don't have to run about 6k. Next, we run 2...
Boltsworn Armin.
That's how you say that.
Is how you say
that. He is the same as Corrosion Dragon, but
yeah, he comes back from the drop, +3.
3k, so...
He's new. I put him in after the video where we had the match. I figured I'd just give him a whirl, see what happens.
Yeah, so that's a good thing about Granblue. It's very... There's not a lot of restrictions, like there's no subclans or anything, really. I mean, obviously, like 7 Seas and Cassius, but they're all grade 3, so your 2s and 1s aren't really that much of an issue. Then we run 2 Brutal Shade, which is the limit break remover for Granblue.
Yeah. Which, as it's a deck that focuses on break riding, it definitely helps to have a limit break.
I mean, you don't need to run at 4D because you can just stride if you're not at 4.
Yeah.
But if you can't stride, and obviously, like I said, you can break ride from the drop zone quite easily. Next, 2 Dandigara Romario. Best card in the game. He just power?
Just power, yeah. Plus with Nightmist secondary effect, he gains plus 2k, making him 13 if you have 4 or more Granblue rear guards. So obviously it makes it 21k.
Yeah, that's the break ride, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Secondary effect, he gets plus 2k, yeah, so that makes 21, so he's good for that. And then, as you mentioned previously, 1 Samurai Spirit.
Which, again, is just purely there in case you're in a situation where you've got something on the field you don't want, you need to move stuff about. It definitely helps. Yeah,
like if you have like red zeros, you can swap them out, can't you, for an actual thing that might make your numbers. Now, for our triggers, 4, 8, 12 critical.
12 critical.
Obviously, you don't need draws in this deck.
No, I tend to do quite well on draw. In fact, I do too well, I end up decking myself out.
Also, C-stroke and draw as well. Yeah, maybe you should be a bit more cautious with your drawing, but that's the beauty of testing deck out. But yeah, 12 crit, this deck, like you said, you don't need draw triggers. I mean, you can run stands, you've run stands in the past, but this deck is quite aggressive, like you rarely don't have a field, and it can hit for big numbers, so just 12 crit is just the way to go.
Plus with the whole like break riding thing, it's the cards come and then disappear, so you can load them up with crits and just make them really count before they go.
Yeah. And then 4 heals.
4 hits.
Obviously, you don't have to mix the art up, but Kieron likes to do stuff like that.
Well, I couldn't decide between the 2, so I thought I'd go 2 and 2.
2 and 2, sure. And finally, for the strides, we are on 4 Loved by the 7 Seas Nightmist. He's just... Is he when you stride or just when you... No, he's act. So
just activate.
Once per turn, card boss 1, if you have a heart with 7 Seas,
yes.
Just call 2 cards from your drop zone and then return. They die.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously a lot of the rear guards have effects called from drops, so they help out, make numbers or run foot damage, draw cards, things like that. He's just very good, and obviously stride power. Just to help the deck get off stuff it wants to do. Then 1 Pirate King of the Abyss Blue Heart. Similar effect, but they have to be over...
Called over units.
Yeah, you don't need a heart specific card, but you use card boss 1, call 2 cards from the drop zone over 2 occupied circles.
Yeah.
Which is odd.
Yeah, you basically just trade 2 cards on the field for 2 cards in the drop.
Yeah, I mean there might be better plays of that when the G stuff comes out. But yeah, it's just there if you run out of
you run out of
your Nightmists, or you're on Night Snow, and obviously you can't use Nightmist then. Then we run 2 Blizzard. You go for a lot of strides, don't you? You tend to go for your Nightmist first, so he's just good for late game. Yeah,
late game, if you've got a cheeky counterblast left, then obviously use it, you can get some serious power and really just hit them hard.
Yeah, and in the same vein, we just run Atmos. This is mostly because you don't have an option for we've got a Granblue strides in the do you?
No, not really. I mean, the only other one is Cassius, but obviously that's not going to work in a non-Cassius deck.
So, yeah, that's our build. Hope you enjoyed it. We should have more coming soon. If you do have any requests, don't be afraid to post them in the comments and ask us. And we'll also get some games up. We might play some now, get some filmed.
Yeah, we've got a Beast Eater deck to try.
Yeah, so we have Beast Eaters. We're gonna we'll do a lot of fight selection stuff. We might do Beast Eaters versus Seal Dragons, which will be interesting.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, it's like I'm giving you grade 2s for me, but then I'm helping you as well. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This is Ben and Kieron from VGBlaster signing out, and see you later. Bye.
Bye.